The NFL stands for not for long.
Set, Sharga and Armstead. Roll out, Walker still running out. Looks to the left, wide open, Thompson touchdown. Colin Thompson with the touchdown. There was nobody within 20 yards.
What a catch off the bobble. Colin Thompson scoops it up.
Lofting corner, the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. The first NFL touch for Colin Thompson is a score.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Colin Thompson Show, presented by Not For Long Media and brought to you by friends over at Arnicare by Boiron, part of the Boiron family of medicines. Our newest sponsor here on the Colin Thompson Show. I've been using the product for years, so to have them as a sponsor is fantastic. Pain relief. You have it. You need it. Boiron Arnicare is your solution. Bruising and swelling, joint pain, muscle and pain stiffness. I'm a huge fan of the arthritis lotion for my back, for my hands. They use a natural product. Arnicare, Montana. It is a mountain daisy that has been used for centuries as a pain reliever. Today is one of the most popular homeopathic medicines in the world. It reduces pain, stiffness, swelling, and injuries and bruising. So it's a natural product when everyone's trying to get healthier today. 2024, not loaded with all that crap in it. Arnicare by Boiron. Check them out. I hope everybody's having a great day. Lots to discuss. Easter's upon us. We have new shows coming into April, kind of a new design, different ways we're going to do things. We're going to come out every Tuesday morning with the show. We're going to record every Monday. Pretty steadfast with that. Going to try to create some different layers of fun inside the show, some more engagement with fans, and like anything, we're trying to improve. So again, big shout out to Not For Long Media, our team here, for making things go. We got some things going with Food Drink Football, our new show, our website. We're updating some things on there too, notforlongmedia.com. You can buy hats, you can buy shirts, you can buy polos, all this great stuff. Check us out at notforlongmedia.com as well. And please rate, subscribe, like. I don't ever ask you guys to do any of that stuff, but hey, it really makes a big difference for our show. If you can rate us, if you can subscribe, if you can set up the alerts when we go on, if you're listening anyways and you could really help us out, that'd be great. Follow us on all the social medias. Engage with us. It makes a huge difference for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots to discuss today. I can't wait to get into a few things. So big news in the NFL. There's lots going on in that world per usual. NFL sets it up that way, right? It is March 26th. What's going on in the league? All the free agency went by. The draft's a month away. Well, they had the GM and head coaches meetings down in Florida this week. The famous picture came out, which is hysterical. Main takeaways from that. Dan Campbell can still play tight end in the NFL. The guy's an absolute monster. The guy's wearing the loafers with no socks. That to me is a sweaty mess. DQ, Dan Quinn, this looks fantastic. Kind of bald, jacked, bowling shirt on. Everyone looks great. It's always funny how people tear it apart. Excuse me. People tear it apart, but I don't know. Everyone's just dressed kind of normally and comfortably, and people make a whole shtick out of it. Kyle Brandt is the best at it on Good Morning Football. Check that out. I watch that every morning. He's fantastic. So talented. The whole show is great, but Kyle, man, he's on another planet with that stuff. So lots come out of the show. Lots come out of the GM and head coaches meetings. Excuse me. The main thing that came out is the new kickoff rule. I love the new kickoff rule for multiple reasons, and here's why. First and foremost, there's no more 40-yard head start. Guys, I can't tell you enough as a player what it's like to be on the back line and the front line guys are blocking their guys, but your guy's got a 40-yard head start and you have to meet him head on. Just vision that while you're driving your car thinking through it. It is tough. It is tough. So as a former XFL player that has been through this new kickoff system, it is awesome. It is awesome. So I'm an absolute fan of it. I love it. I'm a fan of the new XFL kickoff rule in the NFL for multiple reasons. And really, here's why. No 40-yard head start. It's a 10-yard head start. It's going to be really kind of combative, old school football. It's going to bring back the fundamentals of blocking and tackling and shedding blocks. Like literally the drills you did as a kid, that's the play. Everyone lines up across from each other, 10 yards apart. There's a returner in the back. They pop the ball up, and we're off to the races. So I love that. It's going to bring the creativity back for the coaches too. I think that's something that people may not be talking about is now these coaches are going to be forced to be more creative. You could take old kickoff returns back from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. You could go back into the logs like you see Andy Reid do every year with all these different fun plays. But with this, you're not doing that. You're the originator of it other than the XFL. So I love it. You're going to be seeing some things pulled from the XFL. I think the first touchdown return on the new kickoff rule in the XFL was a reverse by St. Louis, I believe. So you're going to see that stuff. You're also going to see some different players now get deployed, right? Like your better blockers are going to be on kickoff return, not just like the tough guy ready to run through someone. Like you can't. You have to have great blocking fundamentals. So you're going to see fullbacks. You're going to see tight ends. You may even see some offensive linemen that move better because you got to use the whole roster. And then when it comes to the kickoff team, you're going to see like some bigger body defensive ends because they're going to have kind of a 5-10 yard head start, just like a pass rush. So it's going to change the personnel a little bit, I think, too. It's going to have effect on the roster, which is always fun. So you're going to see some returners come back into the game. Maybe the guys that they've gone extinct because only 20-something% of the balls were returned this year. So you don't need to spend all the money on a returner because it really doesn't even matter. We're going to put a receiver or a running back there and just say, hey, don't fumble it or call for a fair catch. So the ball's out the back of the end zone. So I absolutely love it. The one con would be they're trying to help with injuries. And the one thing I felt while we were doing is there's a lot of people around your feet. There's 10 people, 20 people coinciding on the football at once. When you spread it kickoff out, everyone's covered the whole field. But they're covering the whole field, yes, but everyone gets close together really quickly. So to me, like you can feel a lot of people around your ankles. So maybe people getting rolled up and all that stuff, but it's not going to be high speed. And that's what they're trying to get rid of. So I absolutely love it. From an XFL player's perspective, I absolutely love it. I did it. It was fun. It was intriguing. Didn't have too many big time collisions. And I'm excited to see people not get a 40-yard head start. I'm excited to see the creativity. And I think it's going to have a big impact on the game. Like, what's it going to look like scoring-wise? Are there going to be more penalties? It's going to slow the game down a little bit, right? That's another con, if you will. So, fun stuff ahead from the NFL. I love that, and should be interesting to see what happens. Move on to a couple of different things here. Big weekend of March Madness. I thought some really interesting points there. First off, the product's ridiculously good, right? I'm not telling anybody something they don't know about that. It's really cool to see these small schools capitalize on their likeness, right? These small players that may have had a really good game or two and maybe their team's eliminated, but their followers went from 2,000 to 20,000. And now they're leveraging it to make a couple bucks, like the definition of NIL, right? They're not going to get a ton of money, but they're going to get some interest in a couple things with that. And if they could leverage it and use it as a business model, I think that's really cool. So great to see there. Jay Billis, a great follow on Twitter. He laid some things out that I thought were really, really interesting. Sweet 16 facts: 4 ACC schools, 3 Big East schools, 2 Big 12, 2 Big 10, 2 SEC, 1 Pac 12, 1 Mountain West, and 1 West Coast Conference. And the Sweet 16 facts: 4 number 1 seeds, 4 number 2 seeds, 2 number 3 seeds, 2 number 4 seeds, 2 number 5 seeds, 1 6 seed, and 1 11 seed. So I don't know, just some facts I thought would be cool to show. Take them as you will, but it's, ACC, King of College Basketball, really. Big Ten's good too. They only have 2 teams. Big East has been great. They got 3 teams, but a lot of teams have left the Big East, not the old Big East. So a couple interesting things there I wanted to touch on. Last thing I want to touch on too, when it comes back to the football stuff, people are making a big deal of Marvin Harrison not working out, right? People are debating and all this stuff. And at the end of the debate, they're like, you know what? It really doesn't matter. They'll debate hard in the beginning. It really matters. You got to show up. You could solidify yourself as the number 1 guy. It's not even a question. He's been the number 1 guy since the day he stepped into college football. He is an absolute freak of nature, gifted-wise, and then mentality-wise, he's on another level. Like the stories when we had Keenan Bailey on, tight ends coach for Ohio State, about this guy's got a Michael Jordan type work ethic. Like coaches don't just say that. They'll be like, the guy works hard. He shows up on time. No, the guy works like a pro, and he learned from his dad, and he probably learned from his dad's friends, and his dad learned from all the greats he's been around. Right. So I don't think we should be worried about Marvin Harrison not working out. He's training for football, folks. From someone that went through combine type training, the minute you're done your pro day, it's completely irrelevant. You never run a 40 again. You never run a 5-10-5 again. You never do a broad jump again. You'll do a high jump because you're trying to work on explosiveness, but those things disappear and go away. Like literally never again. The rest of your career, you can play 15 years. You're never going to sprint 40 yards if you're an offensive lineman. Maybe on an interception return, maybe. But someone usually grabs you and blocks you and you can't get off of it. So to me, Marvin Harrison not working out is awesome for him. He's going to roll into OTAs, be in football shape, and be ready to go. He's at Ohio State. He's training with them. He's at the facility. Like, that's football. Players go backwards when they leave their facilities and they don't train in a really good spot. I firmly believe it. And then you figure it out like year 3 if you're lucky. But man, oh man, like, I think it's awesome for Marvin. He's going to be even better, and he's going to not go through some rookie wall stuff because these guys have been training their ass off. I bet Marvin took some time off to recover from the season. But usually what happens is the season ends, and then it's time to rock and roll. Like, you start training right away. So Marvin probably took off like a normal football schedule, probably took off some time in January, recovered through February, built himself up through March, right? Like, that's what you do when you're a pro. Because college, you play a season, you roll right into training, then you go into OTAs, and you get a week off in the summer, and then you're back to that's unrealistic for a football player. I'm sorry. That's not even smart. It's stupid to train like that. You're not going to make it. You may make it 1 or 2 years, but you're going to fizzle out and be cooked. You need time off. So no big deal to me that Marvin Harrison is not working out. Lastly, on this stuff, for my opening kind of comments, if you will, multi-sport athletes. Listen, folks, I have a million people text me about this. Your son or daughter, if they're athletic and they love athletics, should be playing multiple sports. Doesn't matter what they are. Hopefully they're in different seasons, so it's not competitive and you're not running all over the place. But the more sports, the better. Period. Is that going to help them become a better player when they're older? Yes. Is that going to help them become a better person? Yes. They're going to have to manage schedules, schoolwork, what they eat, all these different things, because they're going to be involved in much, much more. It's going to get them off their phone more. It's going to get them off the computer more. It's going to get them out of video games more. It's going to get them around their friends more, going through more ups and downs and how to take coaching and learning and travel. Like, multi-sport athletes is the way to go. And not just because it helps you physically, not just get kind of rigid with what your sport is. It helps you just a million other things that come with it. So the more sports you can play, the better. Do not give up one sport to focus on the other unless there's unforeseen circumstances. For example, I had multiple scholarship offers, multiple Division I. I think we had 10 at the time, and decided it's time to stop playing basketball. But I still regret that. I wish I would have stayed lighter and leaner and more nimble. I do. I really do. It was the right decision at the time. I look back and wish I would have did it a little differently. It would have helped me be more athletic. At least just practice with basketball. Can I just practice and just practice hard? Maybe not travel to the games and do all that stuff, but like help me get better and more athletic instead of like big and rigid and physical. Now, help me be a better football player. I get it. But at the end of the day, man, play multiple sports. I've been getting a lot of texts about that. And I thought I had to address that here on the show today. All right, guys, over-under segment brought to you by our friends at Wealth Advisory Services. Wealth Advisory Services, if you don't know them, you should. Check them out. Fantastic. Cape May County, all the way up through Bucks County, everything in between, and they work with people around the country. I work with a bunch of my buddies in coaching in college and pro sports. They work with a bunch of my buddies that are playing college and pro sports. They're the best. They really are, and I've been blessed to work with them. WealthAdvisoryServices.com. Check them out. Hit me up, and I'll put you in touch with them. They've been great with me. 401k, retirement, everything, you name it. Over-under. 10.5 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. I saw this on DraftKings website. Listen, they won 11 last year. They won over, that over hit there. They've added Saquon Barkley. They've added Huff, Gardner Johnson, Devin White. Jalen Hurts was an MVP candidate all throughout last year until the slide at the end of the season. So to me, I don't think he's going to regress. Every time someone doubts that man, he responds on another level. So people are going to doubt him. People are going to this, that, the other thing. They're going to doubt the coaches. These are really smart, hardworking people. They're going to find a way to make it work. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a monster year this year. Absolutely. I love the additions they added. They lost some key pieces too. Don't get me wrong, but that's the NFL. That is 100% the NFL. So for me, I think the Eagles are over on that 10.5. They're going to have a great season ahead again. They're going to be competing with a lot of teams now. I think Washington's vastly improved. We'll see what Dallas is. What are the Giants going to look like, right? Like you're always going to doubt these teams out, but you don't really know until who shows up on Sunday. So the Eagles, to me, I would take that over at 10.5 if I was a betting man. I like that team. I like that roster. I like that organization, and maybe not trending in the right direction to end the year last year, but they made some changes, wholesale changes in certain positions, and I think they'll have a lot of success. All right, guys, Top 5 Friday brought to you by our friends at The Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com. They ship fudge. They ship sweet treats across the country. Top 5 Easter candies at the Fudge Kitchen. Again, they ship it across the country, guys. So if you get your shipments in sooner than later, they'll show up at your house for Easter. And if not, you can always give someone a little Easter present a couple days later. No big deal. My top 5 things I can't wait to try this weekend down at the Cape May location and at the original Fudge Kitchen. Number 5, chocolate cover peep. Number 4, the old school chocolate bunny. Can't beat that. 3, tried and true, just the fudge and the saltwater taffy, like the old school, right? Like that's, all right, maybe it's not an Easter candy, but you can get them anytime at the original Fudge Kitchen. I saw on the website, guys, fudgekitchens.com, buttercream egg. Are you kidding me? That's number 2, but number 1, of course. You know it. You're about to say it. It's the peanut butter egg. The peanut butter egg. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't wait. I'll be down there. I also love their chocolate covered pretzels. They are ridiculous. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate, they are so good. So that's my top 5. Chocolate covered peep, 5. Bunny, 4. Fudge, saltwater taffy, 3. Buttercream egg, 2. And peanut butter egg, 1. Simply the best. Bow, bow, bow. Best thing I saw in here. Simply the best. What's the best thing I've seen over the weekend? I read this really good article. If you're on The Athletic, check it out. If you're not, I think it's one of the best descriptions you could even have. If you're just a sports fan, business of sports, a lot of different things. Coaches Confidential, how NFL middle management secretly share their salary information. Who's middle management? It's the coaches. It's the coaches because their stuff's not public. College coaches, if they're state, University of Florida, Penn State, Rutgers, state school, you can see what these guys make. You can find it out. But a really cool article talks about how, like, at the combine, these coaches get together and talk salary so they have leverage, right? And then the agents find out so you can gain more leverage on what these coaches make because there's no salary cap on the coaches. So I thought that was a really cool article on The Athletic. Check it out. It came out March 25th, and it's really cool just about the meetings and the leverage and the history of coaches getting paid in the NFL and what that looks like. Rigorous job, a lot of pressure. Not only just for you to do well and the team to have success, but like you're trying to do well by your players and get them paid so they can impact their families in a positive way too. So interesting article there by the Athletic. Simply the best thing I saw on Twitter this weekend was Kevin Negandhi shouting out Jay Wright's suit game. Listen, the man is always wore great suits, but he is coming out on fire with what he's wearing at the desk, coverage in March Madness. Love Kevin, Temple guy. Jay Wright, Villanova guy. But man, the guy is fly as hell, always rocking great suits, and I'm just a huge fan of him. He's a great commentator, no shock there. TNT, all those guys are killing it. What a great group, fun to watch. So check them out. Check them out because it's pretty sharp suits, I will say. I need to get my suit game up. I don't wear them enough, and no one wears them anymore. So for me to invest in that and do that is stupid. But I have one nice suit from a friend of mine. Ever heard of him? Christian McCaffrey. I talk about him on the show here endlessly because he's a great guy and he's done great by me. I think he's the best player in the NFL. And he hooked me up with a suit, 2020. I've told that story a couple of times on here for me blocking for him like 20 times, maybe. Got us a suit. So really nice guy and wishing him nothing but the best and success. I think he's getting married this summer. So really excited for him and his wife to be Olivia. All right. So the bar of the week this week on the Colin Thompson Show presented by Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, is Frenchie's Rockaway Grill right on the water in Clearwater, Florida. Listen, there's multiple Frenchie's locations. I've been to the old school one just right down the block. I haven't been to the newer one, which is more south in Clearwater. The one at the ballpark that we were at for the Darren Dalton Foundation, all the girls over there were fantastic, took great care of helping me, quote unquote, celebrity bartend. So shout out to all you guys over there. That was awesome. An absolute blast, pumping drinks to the Phillies fans, having beers with Coach Tomber, like just such a cool environment. Again, I've talked about the Darren Dalton Foundation. Go to that if you can. Check it out. Go to that event. It's really, really cool. I met some great people there. So thank you to everyone who helped me do that. But Frenchie's, guys, on the water, Rockaway Grill. I used to go in there with my XFL buddies back in the day when we were down in Tampa. Go ask for the manager, Chris. We did an episode of Food Drinks Football there. So nice. The food and ambiance, guys, is a 5 out of 5. You can't beat being on the beach, toes in the sand, at the bar. Views are incredible. Like, you can't beat it. You really can't. The grouper sandwich, like, it's a 5 out of 5. I could give it bonus points if you could. It's that good. The service was awesome. We were shooting some content in and out and around, like the most giving, hospitable people ever. They were so nice and so gracious, and were pumping us full of food and cold beer. So 5 out of 5 on food and ambiance, 5 out of 5 on the service, 4 out of 5 on the TVs. And guys, the beers were ice cold. Almost a perfect score, 5 out of 5 on the cold beers, 19 out of 20 on the Colin Thompson show. Phillies fans know all about this, this place. The people that spend time down in Clearwater know all about this place, but very few bars you're going to find better than this when it comes to the total package. Where what's the food like? What's the drinks like? What's the service like? What are the views like? Like, it doesn't get much better than this. On the beach, on the water, right in the heart of, Clearwater Beach, North Clearwater Beach there. Frenchie's Rockaway Grill. Check them out. Bar of the week this week on the Colin Thompson Show, presented by our friends over at the original Fudge Kitchen. I think that does it for me, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Quick episode here. No guests. Moving forward, we'll have a guest on each show. Lots to discuss. Excited for the XFL. Really cool. Like, shout out to the XFL. Like, one of their freaking rules that we kind of harbored together. I was a part of that original take 2.0 of the XFL, if you will. And for it to have success and for us to get an opportunity through that is really cool. And, it was great for my career. I ended up playing in Carolina 3 years after that, and then with the Vikings, and trying to keep going. But to see a rule get adopted out of that is so freaking cool. That we were a part of it, and maybe they'll be showing some of my game tape, me missing blocks and people getting tackled of what not to do. So that does it for me, guys. Shout out to our new sponsor, Arnicare, brought to you by Boiron, the best pain relief that I've ever had taken, especially it's natural too, like none of that real harsh stuff. I love it. Shout out to Fudge Kitchen, Wealth Advisory Services, all of our friends at Not For Long Media. Thanks for putting this show together. I appreciate you guys. Hope everyone has an awesome Easter weekend. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive, and do not drive with people who do.